From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Wednesday, March the 8th, 2023. A rocket was fired at southern Israel last night from Gaza. The IDF said scans were carried out this morning, which show that the rocket fell near the perimeter fence between Israel and Gaza in Israeli territory, an open area, and no damage or injury was reported. Several hours later, the IDF said an explosive device was activated adjacent to IDF soldiers conducting activity in the Gaza security barrier area. There were no injuries. In response, the IDF said tanks struck a military post belonging to the Hamas terrorist organization in southern Gaza. The rocket and IED follow a counter-terror operation in Jenin yesterday, as we reported to you, where IDF troops went to arrest the Palestinian terrorist who shot and killed Israeli brothers Hallel and Yagel Yaniv as they were driving through the Palestinian town of Hawara on February the 26th. During the operation yesterday, IDF troops came under heavy fire, and in the gun battle that ensued, the Hawara terrorist was killed, as were 5 other Palestinians who were all members of terror groups. A proposal for compromise in the judicial overhaul by Israel's government was presented today by former Justice Minister Daniel Friedman and former National Security Advisor Giora Eiland. Current Justice Minister Yariv Levin, one of the main forces behind the judicial reforms, was cited by the Times of Israel, saying that the proposal goes in the right direction and that he would examine it. However, several voices opposing the judicial overhaul, like former Justice Minister Gideon Sa'ar and former Prime Minister Ehud Barak, said that the proposal today was just a smokescreen, still giving the government too much control over the judicial branch. Israeli high school students will once again be taking part in trips to Poland after a 3-year pause in the Holocaust education visits. The pause over Poland's government's efforts to try and minimize Polish responsibility during the Holocaust. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said that after a prolonged stalemate in Israeli-Polish relations and pursuant to contacts and a round of talks led by Netanyahu, a solution was found. The Prime Minister said there are many ways to study the lessons of the Holocaust, but the best is with one's own eyes. I welcome our success in the resumption of our pupils' trips to Poland in order to study the horrors of the Holocaust from up close. Jewish leading disability activist and advocate Judith Human has died. Human, who lost both legs to polio as a child, spent her life fighting for disability rights and against discrimination. She served as the U.S. State Department Special Advisor for International Disability and had lobbied for legislation that ultimately led to the Federal Americans with Disabilities Act, among other laws. When asked in a video for Share America in 2015 what her greatest contribution was to the advancement of disability rights, she had this to say.
I think my contribution is that I don't take no for an answer. I've learned from my parents early on that I have to have high expectations, and that I share those high expectations with other people, and that together we've been able to really make dramatic changes here and around the world.
Judith Human died Saturday. She was 75. An exhibit at the Museum for Islamic Art in Jerusalem has opened a new exhibit saluting the bravery of Iranian women. 5. Women, Life, Freedom. The museum said, examines the Iranian protests that began in September of 2022 through the stories of 5 women out of hundreds who defied the extremist regime. Iranian-American artist Human Khalili, who produced the exhibit, told Ynet of the timing of the unveiling of the mural during Purim and International Women's Day, which is today, March the 8th. Saying, I want to keep reminding the world of the strength and courage of the Iranian women who never stop fighting for what is right and just. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Wednesday, March the 8th at 7 o'clock. It's Talmud study. At 7:30, Yossi Klein Halevi argues for a reframing of the post-Holocaust era. At 9, Ben Dror Yemini is on L'chaim. At 10, performances from Ron Rifkin, Grey and Debra Monk at Kulturfest NYC. And coming up next, it's Thinking Out Loud. And that's the JBS News Update for Wednesday, March the 8th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.